How you doing, everybody? It's Monday, May the 30th, 8:40 p.m. Thank you so much for being here. This is Loud and Proud Orlando. Happy Memorial Day to everybody that is watching us live, as well as listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We have a lot to talk about today. Before we start, and before I give the mic to Dave and to Paola, I want to thank, everybody that's been joining our Facebook groups and everybody that's been supporting the show. Since we started this adventure together, Dave and I, and now Paula that joined as well. So I want to, keep encouraging everybody to keep joining our Twitter account, LPO_podcast on Twitter. We're also live on Facebook right now, live on Twitter, live on YouTube. Click the notification bell for all notifications, so you can get the alert. And, before we start, I do want to, say that, I think it was a great win for Orlando City against Inter Miami. I think there's a lot of things to analyze there, but Orlando got the W no matter what. And I think that's the cup that we're aiming for. In front of us now, we have a tough opponent called Nashville. It's always been very tough to play against them. It doesn't matter if it's at their turf, at our turf. It's been tough playing Nashville. So I think the club now and the team gets a well-deserved break. A lot of the players go into international duty, and they have a lot of time to heal. And hopefully we see another W in the horizon. When it came to the Dallas game, heavily disappointed on how the midfield of Orlando turned over the ball constantly and pretty much helped out Dallas, completely take over the game in the second half. But like I said, we're fifth, right, in the standings right now, and we'll get to that and more. So just drop a thumbs up and leave us a comment. All right, Dave, how are you, man?
Happy Monday, Luis and Paola. Thank you, everybody that has joined us live. Long weekend day where we pause to remember those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in combat and those who serve our nation and are no longer with us. So for that, we are thankful because our republic is built on the shoulders of men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice. With that said, my friends, like Luis already mentioned, a Wednesday where we made a statement, got a win. In my opinion, we made it tougher than it should have been. Got lucky at times, but this sport is a pound of talent, an ounce of luck, as I always say in this podcast. So I am very happy about that. Obviously, we're gonna be talking about the end result, and if you have been into the internet, you have seen how I felt at the end of that PK round. No need to repeat myself. With that said, what happened in Dallas, unfortunately, or with Dallas at home, unfortunately, was the end result of having 90 minutes with 9 men in Austin, traveling back to Orlando, putting 120 minutes against a Miami team that really did not want to sell the victory cheaply. So kudos to them. You have to congratulate the opposition because they did not. They were not an easy prey by any means. And unfortunately, that cost us. But, you know, while many of you are pressing the panic button, we're going to discuss here why things are not the way they look. Paula?
Hey guys, happy Monday. Long, short weekend, let's say. Um, Great performance on Miami game, right? We have a common denominator here that we need to finish those attacking possession of the ball. Um, but it was a great overall, right? Like I said last week, Miami wanted to destroy us, and we saw it, right? It was my first time watching live penalty um kicks. My hands were sweaty. I did not understand about Facu going out at that last minute because we were like there to go to penalty kicks and why not? But I was confused. But then I read that he had a tightness, so I was like, oh, okay, we need to protect him. Okay, that's fine. And but the common denominator and the key factor is we need to finish because if we in the first half, I think we missed a couple of chances. If we would have put that ball in the net, we wouldn't go to penalty kicks. And then we saw the effect of Campana going in the 70-ish minute. He wanted to put that ball into the net. We got lucky. Secondly, the Dallas game, first half, tremendously phenomenal job by the boys because they were tired. Everybody was tired, right? We didn't had a we didn't have Schlegel, right? And obviously Antonio Carlos is not there, but Smith put a tremendous job being a center back. Um, like Luis said in the beginning, midfield was the key factor for Dallas on Saturday game. So
And let's kind of trace back to the Miami game. Honestly, uh, I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna say that this particular game, for me at least, Orlando came out to dominate all attacking chances from the get go. Alexander Pato, Urso, Facundo Torres, they connected several times. And like Paolo was saying, they just couldn't finish the play. Oscar in post press conference said, that's something that we are definitely, we know that that's something that we are, you know, um, lacking, and we're still working hard to get over that because, they touch the ball over 200, 300 times each game. They create a lot of set piece chances, but they just can't capitalize. Today, well, against Inter Miami, they were playing against a squad that let them play, and that it's I will say one of the worst teams in the league, right? Aside of Campana and maybe a couple of players, but when it comes to Dallas, you can give those spaces to Dallas that way because they will definitely come bite you back, and that's what happened in the second half. They have a better coach. They have a better system. They have players that play in the U.S. men's national team, which is no joke, and they capitalized on Orlando. Now, concentrating more on the Inter game, you know, again, Facundo Torres has been superb for Orlando the past I mean, since he came over. He has 4 assists and 2 goals so far. He's been very good trying to switch from one flank to another. And but one thing I will say is that from Inter Miami, the two best players, as we mentioned in the preview on the Loud and Proud episode before the game, that Emerson and Mota were probably going to be their best players, and that's what exactly happened. You know. Also, they had this young goalkeeper called Calendar, and he also came alive. In the first half, guys, Orlando had 13 total shots, and out of those 13 total shots, only three on target, 329 passes, and not one single goal. Like that is pretty insane. What do you guys think about that, Dave?
Again, the two games that we're gonna be talking about, they're intertwined. The fact that with Dallas, in my opinion, and I wasn't there, first home game that I missed, and good reasons for it. I used my tickets to the Houston game because I'm gonna have friends from Europe coming to that game. But I watched it on TV as it unfolded. Um, where if you follow my vlog, I said it at the end of the video, stating that I felt that the victory on Wednesday was going to influence what was going to happen Saturday. Kara scored right before the first half ended, and I felt, oh, okay, well, I'm glad I'm wrong. We had other opportunities, we did not capitalize on them. And on the 60th minute, they started making the substitutions. The Dallas started making the substitutions, and to no surprise, we have goals in the 67th and 70th minute, and that was the decisive factor. Even though we had players that came in as substitutes, there were players with a lot of mileage. Facundo Torres already basically played the whole game against Miami in extra time as well. So we had a lot of tired legs. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's because these players did not care. It's because these players they don't sweat the badge." And I'm sorry, the people that I saw on Wednesday were delirious, screaming in the streets, including yours truly. And I don't understand what happened. You know that did they care against Miami and then against Dallas? They sort of had amnesia. You know, it's not a soap opera. The fact is that these guys had 3 games in 7 days, and I'm a fat middle-aged man, and sadly, I cannot demand from this young man more than I can do myself. Uh, Wednesday, when I was watching the game with our good friend Cleon from Orlando Lions, then we're sitting on the south side. When we realized that the penalty kicks were going to be kicked on the north side, we ran all the way to the north side. I was completely out of breath. I have no business running anywhere. And I can imagine when these players have to do the same distance in less time to cover. Oh, we lost the ball. We have to go back and cover. And they're doing this constantly. So to those that basically are saying that our players don't care, well, that's that. And, unfortunately, we had to prioritize. And with this, I conclude. We had to prioritize. At this point, we're 3 games away from lifting our trophy, $300,000 spot on the CCL. Glory to all Orlando City. We're still making playoffs. It was a defeat against a Western foe that doesn't really affect our playoff contention because they're in a different conference. So we have to be strategic. If you look at New York City, who sits first in the East right now, when they were in CCL, they prioritized CCL. They were at the bottom. Losing games left and right. So, guys, the problem is MLS does not give us the ability to have a big squad. We have to have rotation. We have injuries. We have a lot of things going on. And unfortunately, we have to prioritize. I'm telling you right now, as a fan of Orlando City since 2011, Open Cup should be a priority for three main things. And I finish with that. Number one, it's money the club needs. Even though the Wolves are billionaires and all that, the club has to be profitable. And I got news for you that I know from good sources. When the club was bought, the club was bleeding money, and we can have a whole show about this. The club has to be profitable, and that profit has to be reinvested in the same club. Two, a spot in CCL gives us an exposure to the international market. And three, is a trophy. After 8 years in the league, we have to give something to the fans. We can't just keep sitting on our hands.
True, I totally agree. Paola, what are your thoughts regarding what Dave was saying?
I agree. I agree. I never seen Orlando lifting a trophy, and I would like to see Orlando lifting two trophies. Right? I don't ask for more. The U.S. Open Cup and the MLS. We cannot win every game. Right? We have everybody in their jobs. They have good days and bad days. Right? Something that I observed going to FC Dallas game, and I was mad. I was kind of pissed about this. When Ariola scored that last goal, everybody, not everybody, because I didn't do it. Let me clarify that. People in the stands started leaving immediately. I was pissed, Luis and David. Like, I don't understand why they do this. But if you're truly a fan, you will stick into the end because, like I said, you have worse days at the office and good days at the office. And they were just tired. But don't like if you're a truly fan, don't do it. They see like the players can see that you guys are leaving, and I stay. Win or lose, I always stay until the end. Going back to the Miami game, I call it. I'm not bragging myself, but I have witnesses next to me that day. But if you saw on Twitter, there was a little bird running around the field. And it was funny because I have a picture of Facundo and this little black bird. It was not a Cuervo, right? But I was like, this is the lucky charm of Facu to score tonight. And my friends, they were like, they were laughing because it was like 60-ish minute and nothing from Facu. I'm like, don't worry, something is coming, and boom, we got that scored goal from Facu. So I got that picture. I can send it to you, Luis, so you can see it. But common denominator, we need to finish those attacking forms because we had a lot. Like we have how many corners? Like 12 corners? 12 corners, I believe, against Miami. And we were close, but we need to get a better chance on this corner kicks as we do because we have improved.
Yeah, for that we had 12 corners versus three. I mean, if you look at the stats for that game, I mean, we completely dominated, except on the one stat that trumps all of them, which is the goals. Um, I think again, I don't know. I'm not into conspiracy theories, and I'm not into oh, my team is a victim. But Miami had 26 fouls and only two yellows. We had 17 and only one yellow. Oh, I'm sorry. Reading the wrong thing. It's 26 fouls and four yellows, and we had 17 and four yellows. So, and our yellows primarily are coming from dissent. For those that don't know what that is basically talking back to the ref. I would love for our players to sort of reel that back a little bit because these are unnecessary yellows. That the refs are idiots, we know. We already have discussed this after the game in Austin. They, by the way, for everyone that is listening, same ref that we had in Austin, ref Atlanta versus Columbus, and basically just rob Atlanta of a victory. And when you look at that, of course, everybody, oh yeah, great, Atlanta lost, yay. But in a way, we shouldn't be like that because we are basically saying as long as it happens to a team that we don't like or it happens to the opposition, everything is fine. We can't have that attitude. We have to realize that the refs are changing the composition of the league, changing the results, and that takes away credibility for new fans to come into the league, for fans outside of the United States to take us seriously. I mean, it's bad enough that we don't have pro relegation, that we have some rules that make us less competitive and less attractive to prospective top talent. But the fact is that pro referees once again, and this is not the only game. They have several games over the weekend where the ref becomes a protagonist rather than an impartial force to
Right.
enforce the rules of the game.
Look, it's a disgrace again. No one's gonna take America seriously if they have subpar refereeing like that. I'm telling you because I mean, as a third party perspective of somebody that covers other leagues, not just the United States, not just MLS, I'm telling you, it is a joke in itself. When you look at the league, everything the league has accomplished, and then you look at subpar refereeing like that, and then you have a World Cup that you want to, not only Orlando wants to host, but also the MLS wants to make sure that everything is good to go, and they're probably having a better welcome than Qatar. It's not going to cut it with that bad refereeing. They cannot referee an Atlanta United match or an Orlando match. They're going to referee the best nations in the world, right? So you can definitely make that assessment. Um, Tracing back to what Paula was saying, in my opinion, the reason why Orlando these last two games they have not probably played their best. Now, when it comes to this game with Inter Miami and FC Dallas, the common denominator is the turnovers. The turnovers in the mid are a big deal of what's happening in Orlando right now. Unfortunately, the mid keeps turning over the ball, and the difference between Inter Miami and the difference between them and FC Dallas is that FC Dallas has the players to capitalize on chances, and Inter Miami does not. Now, they've attempted, and out of a good lineup, a good system, Kyle Smith solid this past two games. Although I will say that against FC Dallas, there was a little bit of a tired legs maybe at the end, and he just couldn't really run towards Hara, which is larger, type of center back. I'll say from Dallas, but either way, I mean, the backline deliver against a team that was probably not at the level as we were when it came to prowess and attacking prowess and passing prowess, right? They had some key players. For example, I tell you, it was John Mota, um, Emerson Rodriguez. He played a phenomenal game. I don't know why SofaScore only gave him 6.6, but them two were really cutting through. Gonzalo Higuain started and he was trash. I mean, that's just the truth, and that's why Campana came in and he actually changed the dynamics of the game for Inter Miami to a point that Orlando was kind of scared that they were going to actually score it again and they were going to flip the pancake on us, right? So the turnovers are huge. The problem with FC Dallas is they went on the counter and they were successful on the counter attack play, and they capitalized on the counter attack play. That's why the game ended 3-1. And in Inter Miami side, it failed because they don't have the players to do that much damage. So, but if you get a better team that's able to do that, I mean, Orlando is gonna lose a couple of more games. And another thing is
Absolutely.
the people, right? Yeah, personally, I don't like that either. I don't like people leaving a minute 85. Now, am I gonna judge them or I really can't, honestly, because I don't know their personal lives in that matter. But it is a big deal that two out of their most highest attended games, this game here was 17,380 people, I think. This game. It was a high attendance compared to others. So it just happened to be that Orlando loses 3-1. So some people are fans of the result. They are not fans of the culture of the club or what the club represents for the city. They just want to see Nick Saban, Alabama roll tide and come in and destroy everybody, like Sonic Boom, right? Or like Hadouken. They just want Orlando to be a super team, right away. there's people that are fan of the result, and there's people that are fan of the culture of the club. I'm sure you can probably agree with that because you support Stevenage, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
99% of their fan base is they love the club because of what it represents to them, right?
this is a community club. That's a concept that we don't have here in the United States. Is a club owned by the fans. It represents the city, and a lot of people, they live and die by the result at the end of the day. But that said, which is interesting that you mentioned that, Luis, because again, I'm gonna have friends from Stevenage coming to watch this game in June. Um, is that the result in Dallas does not reflect a poor performance by Orlando. If you look at it this way, they tied on an error of coverage because obviously at that point you have Jara who's fresh. Dallas was coming from 7 days of rest. They had lost their last two games, so they had a chip over their shoulder. So they tie it, and then after that, again, more tired legs. They go ahead, and the last goal is exactly what happens every single time a team in any league, in any place, any continent, any country in the world happens to do, which is all meat on the grill, all offense, because you're looking for that tying goal. And if you don't get it, guess what? You get punished again. And that's exactly what happened. So 3-1, I mean, it's not like they outplayed us. It's not like they punished us. This just happened at a point where we had no answer. The guys were tired. I mean, they're human. So with that said, and as far as the people leaving, well, that's an American thing. I'm sorry, it is an American thing. It's something that unfortunately continues to happen. People have mentioned it before that in other countries they're singing, they're chanting. We make fun of Miami for doing that. On Wednesday, the 50 fans they brought in with them, they stayed, they chanted, they did what they did, and that's how it should be. Unfortunately, like I said, people here in the United States, like Luis said, they're a fan of the result, and again, we see this Jekyll and Hyde from the fans. We win, the sky is blue, everything is perfect. We lose, we need to fire this guy. We need to do this. We need to do that, and we need to understand the circumstances of the games that we're playing. Um, Anybody with two eyes and soccer IQ of two would have told you that the best we could have done on Saturday was a tie, and unfortunately, it did not go our way.
Yeah, and to give the mic to Paola, Paola, what were your thoughts regarding Dallas specifically? Right, I mean, they in the first half, I think Orlando looked to be somewhat the better team. I think they had a lot of chances; they could have put it away the game, but then Dallas flipped the switch. What do you think that was?
I believe the coach that halftime 15 minutes in the locker room, they knew what were our flaws. That was the midfield. And that's where they attacked us, right? Because the first goal, it was a pass between, I don't remember, but Perea got the ball and then he lost the ball in the midfield. And that's where the first goal came. Because I saw it in slow motion. I saw it. I'm like, no, no, no. But I saw it. And that's what I couldn't imagine what happened in the locker room. Like, hey, this is where Orlando, this is their weakness right now because they're tired. Like David said, they have been playing since Wednesday, and we were tired. In Austin, we were tired too. There was two games that were tough. One of the toughest two games, toughest games technically. They were not easy either of those. So they knew where we were slacking, and they attack us from there. In the first half, I wish we could have like done like two more goals there so we could tied. But it was a great, 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 great goal from Aaron. I was like, wow, like if we can see more goals like this, and I know like little by little we are gonna see more from Aaron. He's still adapting, right? And I know that now he's connecting, and I know that he loved this club. So I saw it on Wednesday. I don't know if David saw it too. That he went to the fans and he was like going crazy. But we we were not as good at the midfield as always. So
I'm gonna add here that Orlando City to me dominated also again. They came in and they come in with a lot of intensity. Just creating attacking chances. Mulroney, I think he did a good job uh, in his position. I would like to see him either Mulroney and Urso again on here, or if not, even Facundo Torres right here on the wing. In my opinion, I think both of them um, in the first half at least they create a lot of chances. One thing that I did notice was that Kara was very slow in transition. He kind of held up a lot of the attacking counters for Orlando. When the wingers try to go forward, try to go past the back line, so past Paxton, past Farfan, um, and they were looking for Kara. He wasn't there. I mean, he either, I don't know if he was too slow in transition or he was just not connecting with his teammates. Um, John Moutinho had a phenomenal game. He had a really nice cheeky play in the first half. But again, the mid started again turning over the ball unnecessarily, right here, right in the mid. And you don't want to give those chances to a team that is well coached and that has the players that will definitely hurt you. And I think they went back into the locker room. Orlando took advantage of a set piece play that they've been practicing for a while, according to Erjan Kara when he talked in the post game conference. He said that they were planning that play. If they had the chance, it was either going to be Jansen doing the flick or it was going to be Erjan. So Erjan actually was there, um, and he did it, and it was a great goal. Orlando was winning 1-0 at the half. Everybody was excited. Everybody was like, "Oh man, they're actually going to pull it off." And even though Orlando came out with the same level of intensity as they did in the first, again, Orlando was creating a lot of chances, getting a lot of fouls with set piece opportunities. But again, they couldn't put it over the net. They couldn't capitalize. There was no one there who could finish the play. There was one instance, I'll say, and people could leave the comments there, and I'll give the mic to Dave, that Ergen had pretty much when Dallas went up 2-1, Orlando had the opportunity to tie the game, and it was a corner from Alexander Pato, right? And then it was a perfect cross, and then all that Urgent had to do is just, even with his chest, just go in, just push the ball in. He flicked it out wide, completely wide. So those things, I think Orlando had to get better. Once Hada make that really great goal, and Kyle Smith couldn't catch him pretty much. I think the whole momentum of Orlando went down, and I think Dallas's grew to the point that Dallas completely dominated the game after that. And be honest with you, I mean, look, I'm Peruvian. I cover Orlando City, but I'm gonna say, I think on the third goal, Pedro Galese could have done more, and this doesn't make me a terrible person. This doesn't make me anything like that. With all due respect, he's a world class caliber goalkeeper, but he could have definitely done more. But everyone is human, right? And so his family was there as well. Facundo's dad was there as well in the stadium, and um, bad day at the office, right? But Orlando has a chance now to go back into the winning streak, hopefully. So. Um, Good for Dallas, but Oscar was mentioned in the post press conference about the lack of finishing, and he said that that's something that are definitely working on. Which brings me to my next point, and I want to address it with Dave. MLS transfer window is opening up, and what are the positions Orlando should definitely take a look on?
All attack, if you ask me. This team, in my conversations with people at the stadium, and on the way to the stadium, back from the stadium, at OCB games, everybody that recognizes me wants to talk about this, and they all say the same thing. this team has a problem scoring goals, and it's undeniable. As a matter of fact, I had a long conversation with Cleon about this, and we both agree that we haven't had an explosion of attack since Adrian Heath managed this club. And it's a telltale sign that since 2015 we haven't had a player score a hat trick, and that is troublesome. If you ask me, that is troublesome because if we want to be honest with ourselves, had Miami could have done differently, and they would have put in Campana at the beginning, they probably would have won that game. But instead, they want to make playoffs in the regular season because obviously the word on the street is that their coaching staff may find themselves out of a job if they fail to make playoffs again, which I think is a little bit unfair because obviously they're saddled with Gonzalo Higuain. Friends, I would be embarrassed if I was making $5.6 million and 30 minutes into the game, after being rested, I am looking I'm looking for a oxygen mask. I mean, it's incredibly pathetic, but that's a tangent for another day. Fact is that for us, I believe Luis, the window opens in July. I want to say July 7th off the top of my head, and closes August 4th. So we're gonna have opportunities now. If we're going to do that, that means that some people that you've grown to love may find themselves traded. That's fact of this game. That's why you never put the name of a player on your jersey. You never fall in love with players. Mulroney was beloved in Atlanta, found himself on the chopping block. I mean, that's how it is. So I think we are going to see some trades. I saw some names in OCB that, in my opinion, should be in consideration for the first team. We'll talk about that later. But absolutely, defensive wise, I think we're very solid. But we need to score goals, and I just don't see as much as I like Mauricio Pereira, as much of a gentleman and a technical player as he is. We need a number 10 that can score goals. I think if you ask me with no bias, I think we have a bright future with Wilfredo Rivera in that position, but he may not be ready. He's only 18 years old. Do you entrust an 18-year-old with that much responsibility? That's a question for debate. And lastly, we have to have some needs on the wings. The main problem is we have obviously Gaston Gonzalez, a situation that we all know. He's out. And then we also have Sylvester Van der Water, that unfortunately we don't know if he's going to be coming back this season. His injury was pretty serious. So these are situations that we have right now on our attack that need to be addressed. So we don't have Open Cup again until Nashville, June 29th. That, to be honest with you, it's going to be a battle. It's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be against a great rival. So we have to already start looking at what we can do to improve our squad. Hopefully, get over the hump of Nashville, and then re-energize with some new signings for the season and for Open Cup past the month of July.
Oh, you're on mute, Luis.
Oh, sorry about that, Paula. What are some of the positions you believe Orlando should target for these MLS open transfer window?
Whew. This is a tough one. I'm not gonna be in trouble for this, right? No. I believe a right back. Um, I'm saying that right. Right back is Ruan. Ruan needs help, right? And I saw it on FC Dallas, and I saw it in Miami. He was tired. The poor guy. He was walking, and I don't know why he didn't got subbed earlier on the FC Dallas. For being honest, he was put in by Holiday cover his position, but I believe we need another right back. I know that from the OCB we have a few. Um, but we need to cover that area. Thank God. And this is another fact. I forgot to say this. We didn't have the starters, the full 100% starters on the FC Dallas, and we had them trouble, right? They were in trouble in the first half. So that's a lot to say. But I will say a an attacking as well. We need that attacking. I feel that we have potential, but we're missing a key part in the front. There's something missing there that we're not finishing. So I know that probably we're gonna see changes soon. I saw a rumor in Twitter. It was a rumor that they were trying to buy Ruan. I don't know that this is 100% true. I don't know. It's just a rumor in Twitter. But we're gonna definitely see changes this summer in July. So I'm just curious of who is coming in and who's going out.
I have a lot of thoughts, and I have a lot of markets for I think they need to target. Um, I am happy with Mauricio Pereira personally. I know people are going to be like, but why? Oh my God. Ugh. No, no, it's I'm happy. Look, the mid of Orlando is creating chances. The problem is the finishing. You know, like they had so many set piece opportunities, and there was no one there to just capitalize on it. And personally, you need to find another midfielder that I like when Pereira has the freedom to do those passes and be that influential in the game. You don't see him a lot going back and forth defending like maybe Urso would do, or maybe like Mendes would do, or maybe Araujo would do. Those are three defensive midfielders pretty much. Urso can go into the attack more because of his physicality, but you see more Mendes and Araujo right there as a six, right in the center. um, I think Pereira needs help. I'm gonna give a player that to me is very exciting, and he's from Peru. His name is Christopher Gonzalez from Sporting Cristal. He is very young. I think he's Peruvian national team as well. He's at I believe he's like 26. Hold on, let me double check here. No, I don't. I'm not quite familiar with his age, but he's one of the best players in the Peruvian league right now. Very underrated. I'll say very underrated. Yeah. So he's 29 right now. So he's right in the perfect age for MLS. So he's right in the cusp. He's not. He's not. He's not. He's not super expensive, in my opinion. And I think he'll be the type of player that could be that assist to Mauricio Pereira and those legs right there helping him out. You know, in the recovery of the ball, in the attack of the ball, in the set piece play, he's a good set piece taker. And he's still pretty young. He still have a lot left in the tank. No offers from Europe from him. Um, so I will say the MLS right now is keen to Peruvians. It's a player that I think monetarily Orlando will benefit from. I don't think it's going to be tough negotiations like they did with Facundo Torres with this player. And I think it could be possible. He's won everything he needs to be won in Peru already, and he's just ready for the next step. And he's a very dynamic player right now. In 12 games, he scored 7 goals in 12 games. So he's one of the top scorers in his team. So just an idea, and that's right in the mid, right? And then I think Erjan Kara right now he's hot. He's getting hot. I personally believe right now he scored the last 3 games for Orlando City. In my opinion, he's getting a little hot. I just think that we need another nine. I think another solid nine that is able, or either a player that is able to play as a second striker. Somebody that is not like a pivot, like a nine, like a straight tall, 5 5'10", 6'2", number 9. Like somebody like maybe kind of like an Higuain, but without being Higuain, right? Playing as a second striker. Um, Definitely, in my opinion, I think the Argentinian market right now is soaring. A lot of the players want to leave there. A lot of good players. The Ecuadorian league as well. Liga Pro is doing good. Um, Europe is going to be tough to get somebody from Europe. I think again, and we need to refresh also the right back and the left back of Orlando City, right? I think maybe find a player again, maybe from the MLS with a trade or something that we're able to get for for cheap, that is able to play both wings, and then added Kyle Smith already being there, being able to play as a center back, right back, and left back. Then having Alex Freeman, then having Thomas Williams. Boom. Like Orlando has a lot of depth there. Then Antonio Carlos is going to probably come back sooner than expected, hopefully. Then, we're looking at just adding, so I will say 3 players, because I think Kara right now, he's getting hotter. The team has invested a lot of money in him, and I think he's getting acclimated into the league, and he's going to be hotter sooner than later. But we need a competitor for him. I think Yassi Sardis could have been perfect, if he would have, not gone to Colorado. But, Orlando needs something like that up top because Pato, I like Pato as a replacement for Mauricio Pereira playing behind the 9. I thought he did phenomenal also as a right wing. So I will say those 3, this is the squad, Dave, of some of the players, right, that we have through transfer market. These are our attackers. We got Torres, Gaston Gonzalez. He's obviously injured. Benji Michel, Sylvester Vanderwater, Erjan Kara, Alexander Pato, Tesho Akindele, which I think Pareja uses him more, not so much as an attacker, but maybe more of as a defensive midfielder. To slow down the play, for counters for the rival team, in my opinion. And then Jack Lynn. What are your thoughts? I think attacking is what we need. We need one more striker, don't you think?
No, absolutely. I actually got the chance to see Jacqueline with a brace at the OCB game. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think that he has a lot of future. Now, the problem with this season is a lot of fans see it as we win, we got Gaston, we got Torres, we got Araujo, we got all these guys. We're winning the cup. And in my opinion, it's more of a transition from the have-nots to the ones that have. We are making this transition to a better built team. The Wolves have a lot to do with how Nashville was built and how Nashville recruited. They are everything that we were not at the beginning of our MLS life. A lot of people like to point out to the Atlantas and the LAFCs of the world, but the fact is that Nashville, little by little, has done things that I wish that we would have done. For example, make playoffs first year in the season, in the league. Go deep into in year 2 into a cup run. Obviously, right now, deep run into the Open Cup and all these other things. And while Nashville's Open Cup run has been against inferior competition, in my opinion, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So obviously, we have the Wolves now on our side, and I expect the same things. So I don't expect overnight uh, changes, radical. We still have a lot of We still have a lot of players in our club that were budget decisions rather than talent. If you ask me, Jacqueline is perfect trade bait to another club to perhaps get a scoring veteran, maybe somebody between 29 and 33 years old that still has some tread on the tires and can come and score goals. We have seen how Dom Dwyer all of a sudden has woken up from his slumber in Atlanta, and it's being a factor there. And they're saying that it's a great signing. Here, he did nothing. So we can do those type of things. Again, the problem, Luis, is that a lot of fans, they follow the players on social media, and they fall in love with them as people, and it's human nature. Trust me. Like I said, when I went to the OCB game, I started talking to the players' families, and it's human nature to get attached to people. But this is a business, and this is a business of results, and these players are assets. And right now, we have to win. And if we can't win with these players that we have, then we have to make changes. And one of the things that we don't do here in the United States that overseas they do is that winning is everything. Who cares that this player posts cute pictures with his kids on Instagram? I want to win. Oh, trading this guy, it's gonna get us two guys cheaper and younger. See you later. Forever a lion. That's how it should be. We should be ice in the veins when it comes to these decisions. And Luis, I see that there's a ton
Yeah,
of.
I'm gonna start reading the comments right now.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for everybody that has left their comments. So Victor Rivera, we need someone attacking mid or forward that is MLS ready. It's hard to come from other places and adjust. Even Facu has stated that. Yeah, true. I agree, but you also have to think about not just this season. When you sign somebody, you want to make sure that you're able to have that player play the next a couple of seasons and maybe one more season. And that's the reason why I thought about this guy, because seeing him play, he matches perfectly Mauricio Paredes' game when it comes to. I think he'll be that squire, like right next to him, like to find that link up play in the mid, that and the way Peruvian soccer is played. If you see the Peruvian national team, how they play, they play kind of like, I mean, they're not like Barcelona, but they like to. It's what Orlando does. Playing the possession game with short passing, change of pace, try to find the wings open, and he's used to all of that play. So I think his adjustment period will be pretty quick. He speaks, I think, English also. So I mean, it could be a good signing, and not that expensive. But yeah, I do agree. If we're gonna do that, if it will be somebody from the MLS. I think it'll be like what Dave said, right? We're gonna have to part ways with somebody, Van der Water, somebody, I don't know if Van der Water, but somebody from the roster for sure. It says, like I have said in the past, it says Victor Rivera, when they are pressured, they lose focus and get flustered. I think he's talking about the mid, right, Dave? I think he's talking about the midfield. Yeah, I think some players, they when you're high pressing them, they resort to pass it back, and then when they're passing it back, they do it incorrectly, and they just lose the ball. And then if the other team can do the counter just like FC Dallas did, we're screwed. But if they are limited, like Charlotte or like Miami, then we're okay because we have Ruan, we have John, we have Jansen, we have Rodrigo, right? And they'll deliver. Jim D, that is where we missed Urso in the midfield. I agree. He will usually shield the ball well and draw a foul rather than turn it over. Good. And the reason why he's been playing the wing, why that is, because Van der Water is out. You know what I mean? So we need somebody there. Gaston Gonzalez, he was supposed to be playing at this moment. At this moment, Gaston Gonzalez would have been playing, with Orlando. So, I do agree with the Jim D there. Alabama Cassidy, I like Kara, but he's so slow. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Dave? That he's slow.
Well, I mean, we said the same thing about Kyle Larin, and history slapped us in the back. So
What are your thoughts there, Paola, about Kara, about him being slow?
I I agree, but when he finds that net, he puts that ball in the net, and that's the important thing. You said it, Luis. We like the wings; they were forward, and he was missing at that top on FC Dallas game. Um, I don't know. Probably he was tired from Wednesday, even though that he didn't play the entire game. Let's say, I don't know, I cannot judge him right now. But I call him the green giant. I don't know, because he's really tall. So I always, like, when I saw him, like, oh, he's like a green giant. So but if he can score, I don't care if he's slow or not, but he needs that little bit a more faster pace. But
Yeah, I
it is what it
mean,
is.
Kara, I believe he's heating up. I think he scored in the last 5 matches, I believe, of Orlando City. He scored in three of them. So that tells you that they're finding the link up play with him. So it's just a matter of time for him to go off, hopefully,
And
right?
I saw in the highlights from him playing in Europe, and when that boy hits that ball in, like, prior that line in the mid, almost the midfield, it's power. So I'm every time that he's in that middle area, I'm like, oh, he's gonna do it or he's not. He's gonna do it or not. So I don't know his instructions with Pareja, right? Because every team has different instruction for the forwards. But I just want to see him going in a long shot and see if he can put that ball in the net because he has power.
Oliver Norton, it says pro refs are terrible. I agree. I agree. Jim D. Puppy has to hire an offensive coordinator or a consultant. We can dribble around the opponent's box for 90 minutes and have nothing to show for it. What are your thoughts there, Dave?
Well, it's difficult to say because same coaching staff is the one that gave us a great game in Austin that was ruined and stolen from us by refereeing incompetence. I believe that part of the reason why the Miami game went the way it did, a little bit psychological. Another one, obviously, tired legs. And Saturdays, obviously, we have spent an hour talking about why the game went the way it went. I think neither one of these three games is a indication of the ability or inability of our offensive coordinators, which, by the way, is Oscar Pareja. And there's a Mexican gentleman that assists him with that. I don't have his name, Luis, while I'm talking, if you can. I believe his name is listed on the um, Lion Nation app. If one of you guys can help me out with that, on their staff, it's a Mexican gentleman that he had he worked with in Tijuana, and he brought him over. So that's who assists him with, with the offense. So yeah, I mean, what we can do, my friends, is we can crumble this week and just throw it away. It's over. It's done. I think right now my concentration, or our concentration as a collective.
Fabian Bazan,
No, it's not Fabian Pasan. It's Fabian and his brother are Argentinian. It's another gentleman.
Diego
And
Torres.
I think that's what I think
Yeah,
that's
Diego
his name.
Torres. Yeah, he
Diego
was he
Torres.
was in Tijuana, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, that's
So
that's right.
so by the way, uh, I would love to transition to the OCB game real quick, because I met a lot. I mean, what we have working in our club, it's fantastic. And I want to finish what my answer to what uh, was asked by Jindy. The At the end of the day, it's over, and we have 17 days to rest. And right now, we need to start thinking about what we're gonna do against New England on the 15th, and on the 18th at home against Houston, that has not been to Orlando since 2018. This past Sunday, or yesterday, as we're recording this, I went to the Orlando City B game against FC Cincinnati 2. Uh, Fortunate loss, 5-3. Um, but actually, yeah, 5-3. Um, would I recommend going to the game? It's up to you guys. After I tell you this, it's $20 to go to the game, which I felt pretty steep. Actually it's $15 for the ticket, and then all the fees take it up to $20. The quality that you're gonna see there, it's a little bit over what you will see in a academy game, and so you have to, you can say, well, I can grab the same $20, go see the Pride, or go see get one of the cheap seats for Orlando City. I went because I wanted to support our club. I wanted to see what the guys had to do, they had in store for us, and also I had nothing going on a holiday weekend, so I went. The attendance was primarily the relatives of the of the players, employees, academy kids. Uh, the staff that is working with OCB is deep, very South American guys, very very South Americans. By listening to the people screaming, Argentinians, Uruguayans, Brazilians, Peruvians, Colombians, Ecuadorians. That's who is working with the club at the moment. The main language of OCB Spanish. Even the guys that are not Hispanic speak Spanish, which surprised me. And not only that, wasn't only with OCB, but with Cincinnati as well. Um, a lot of Spaniards, which surprised me. There's a lot of people investing into what they perceive as the future of MLS. Is these young kids? Um, First goal for Orlando City, Moises Tablante. I am sick and tired of telling you guys how good this kid is. It's a guy, and I'm gonna say it's a guy that Kansas City wanted to steal away from us. It's a guy that Miami tried to seduce away from us. And out of loyalty and love for Orlando, and the fact that this is where he has grown after leaving Venezuela, he has thrown his tent in this club. If you guys follow me on social media, you see they golazo. Lack of a better word, because I don't know. We need to create a word for goals of this magnitude. I mean, it was a powerful mule kick. After that, we saw, and unfortunately, I was playing with my phone and I couldn't get it on video. But Jacqueline, very talented player, score a goal. I mean, if you guys remember when the LDK was here, that type of thunderous kick, that's exactly what he did. And then from the penalty spot, unfortunately, we made some mistakes. Excuse me, and they punished us with them. The most egregious offense was an own goal on OCB, where the player should have. And again, I'm not gonna mention names because these are players that are developing, and I don't want to single anybody out. Players should have cleared the ball. Instead, he turns around, throws the ball back to Otero, thinking he's gonna be there, and unfortunately, he's not. And boom, ball goes in. And in my opinion, that was the decisive factor in this game. Now, who are the players that, in my opinion, should be in the first team tomorrow? Moises Tablante, that's one guy. Jacqueline, superb. I think that I will seeing the skill set that Tesho has. Tesho it acts more like a 10, to be honest with you, like a winger at times as well. He's not really the number 9 that everybody wants him to be. Maybe it's time to start bringing Jacqueline in situations where we're bringing in Tesho instead. Wilfredo Rivera, silky touch, talented kid. I just think, and I spoke with his parents, and they agree with me. He needs to bulk up. He needs to gain more muscle. He has the body of a teenager. He needs to bulk up. But superb passing. It's just incredible. A great substitute for Pereira, if you ask me. And finally, Javier Otero on goal. Yes, you can see the 5 goals, whatever. But the fact is that this kid has the same ability as Pedro Galese. I see this guy progressing. This Venezuelan kid definitely has a future. Everybody loves Greenwich. I gotta be honest with you. Maybe perhaps we need to start thinking about Javier Otero as our third goalkeeper for the first team. But anyways, it was a great day out. Ran into a listener, Juan Jimenez, who happens to be from my hometown of Bayamon, Puerto Rico, which celebrated its 250th birthday last Sunday. I don't know if I mentioned that last Monday. So a big hug to all the Bayamoneses throughout the world. And again, we have a great future with OCB, and I guess we can talk about Orlando Pride embracing that Orlando City 2016 spirit.
Yeah, sure. Orlando Pride tied, 2-2, pretty much leveled against the reigning champs. Washington. The Washington Spirit. They honestly put on a show. Uh, to me, you have resilience because, as you see here, the two players in the picture, the one in the white is Trinity Rodman, one of the most exciting players right now in the NWSL. To me, I think a future starter in the women's national team for sure. Also, the daughter of Dennis Rodman, and she has the same attitude and character and punch as his dad did back in the basketball court. And on the other side, you have, I think, an exciting player like Courtney Peterson. She's a left back for Orlando City. She's been playing well this season so far. Uh, I will say this, a good shown, a great display of resilience by Orlando Pride. Again, Michaela Clough, brand new, rookie, came from college, won everything she had to win in college. She's playing at a very high level for Orlando. She's actually one of the best players in the team right now. And then Leah Pruitt, right? Leah Pruitt also came from Penn State, and she's been definitely, delivering highly. And then it's just the way the Pride came out with the willingness to level the score. You know, I definitely say that because I've been covering the team for over almost 2 years now, and I truly enjoyed how this team is so together, coaching staff, players. They just want to win. Obviously, there are not a lot of names, but there's a lot of, a lot of players that want to win, right? And playing against the defending champs, it's pretty tough, right? And they definitely delivered, and super proud of them. Super proud of them that they were able to level. They are fifth in the NWSL, and I'm gonna give here's the here six here, right? And so one really quick data here for the Pride, which is very interesting, is that in the past, um, it's a really interesting start. So Orlando right now has the most goals scored. They have 9, but also they have the most goals against in 6 matches for the NWSL season. So just something to keep in mind, right? Also, I want to show a good data that I found regarding the attendance for these games. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can put the. I don't know if you can see it there. Hold on, let me double check here. Right there. Right there. So this was the attendance on NWSL matches. Look at Orlando. Orlando's 5th right now. Angel City, 18,000 people for an NWSL game. Kansas City with almost 6,500 people. Oil Rain, doing superb in the women's league. Also, look at that. And then Orlando, 3,500, right? And it was a very exciting game. I also saw a lot of posts from a lot of the fans that they were actually quite happy with the performance of the team, and those are the type of things that make you want to go back to see those games, right? When you see that the team is actually fighting back and getting a result. So I highly recommend everybody to go ahead and go and get your tickets for Orlando Pride. Check them out. family friendly, you know, action packed. Some of the games, and definitely you're supporting Orlando, right? So, um, Paula, do you have anything else you would like to add?
One word for this game: perseverance. That's it. They
That's
never
right.
quit. They never quit. So we need to learn from their for from the pride. Um, I always say I need to go to a game, and I never go since last year. So I need to go to a game. So I was kind of mad that I didn't go to this one, but one of my friends, she was there, and she said to me that the stadium almost wanted it to collapse after that second goal, and they were pretty. I saw the highlights and I was like, wow. So kudos for the team. um and I'm gonna go to a game, I promise, or more,
No,
one or two more.
definitely, definitely. I highly recommend everybody to go ahead and check out the Orlando Pride. They've been playing phenomenal. I want to say hello to Leah Pruitt, to everybody. Jerry and Jenkins too. She's playing phenomenal. Darian Jenkins. Sid Leroux, right? Definitely. So, Dave, anything else you would like to add before we close the
Sure.
show today?
Well, we're gonna be taking a little vacation, obviously, because we all need to recover. um, Gaston Gonzalez gave an interview to Argentinian television. He is finishing his rehab in Buenos Aires. He's going back to Santa Fe to spend time with family, and he's expected to be flying back to Orlando in the month of June. Um, I believe late June, if I'm not mistaken. So he will continue his rehab here in Orlando. So he's going to be joining the team, getting acquainted with his teammates and all that. So that's good. Obviously, does nothing for our season this year, unfortunately, but it is what it is at this point. Just to remind everybody, June 15th, when the hostilities return, Orlando City is going to be visiting New England, and a team that has given us problems in the past. Then we're going to be coming back home to our only home game for the regular season. That's going to be June 18th, Saturday, 7:30. Please be there. Definitely going to be there. It's gonna we have a ton of people from England that are coming to some of them to see their first MLS game. And June 29th is going to be our next game against Nashville at Exploria. Interesting match for Open Cup because we are not seeing Nashville in the regular season this year. We were not supposed to, and luck be that now we're gonna be playing against them. Obviously, when we are ready, when we return, we're gonna be talking about this more in depth. But nothing. I leave you with this, my friends. Never let a defeat get to your heart and a victory to your head. This is the way it is with the season. If you want to get upset on the last day of the season. Get upset when we get bounced out of Open Cup. That's the moments you need to do. You need to reserve your mood for. We had some things go against us, injury wise and player personnel and all that. That even under the best forecast, you could have not foreseen, and it's what it is. I'm gonna show up regardless to the games. I have said it before. I have been following this team with 3,000 people in a dilapidated Citrus Bowl back in 2011. Why should I quit now when we have a better stadium, we have a better team, we are in a better league, we have better talent, we have more money and all that? It'll be ridiculous. So, my friends, let's just stay together. And I know that there's people within our fan base that don't like negativity or don't like when people get express their frustrations. We're human. I think that's natural and that's healthy when we do it in an environment of respect and in where we get the collective with the one goal of lifting a trophy, which every year should be our goal. So let's just instead of fighting with one another, let's concentrate that our rival is the opposing team on the pitch for 90 minutes. Let's support the guys that wear our colors. let's let them know that they're appreciated. I spoke with Facundo's dad, who was telling me that how much they appreciate the words of encouragement of the fans, even when things are not going their way. That wasn't the case in Uruguay, so they sure appreciate that. I spoke with the parents of Wilfredo Rivera, who told me the same thing. So we have to, again, we just have to be positive. For anybody that wants to watch my vlogs for the OCB game and the game against Miami, uh, the legendary David on YouTube. Obviously, I can be found on Twitter at Florida underscore man 76. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys, and we'll see you when we get back.
Paola, last rights.
Um, thank God for this 17 days of rest. We much deserve them. Let's see what the boys put in June 15. Um, and I will be in that game for the Nashville against Orlando for sure. Even though that I was like a zombie after in my work, but it's okay. My boss knew that I was in an Orlando City game. So that's why I couldn't call out. I'm just kidding. But see 17 days hopefully more winning our house and our glorious stadium and every Monday.
I think you're cutting off, Paola. We didn't hear the last part, but
Oh, I said just to subscribe and watch us every Monday. That's it.
definitely. The last two comments here. Alabama Cassidy Mulroney has been a great pickup. I totally agree. I think he's been great. He loves when the fans talk stick to the other team. That's what he said. So he definitely enjoys being here. Victor Rivera. Everyone is happy when the team wins, but as soon as they lose, those same fans will knock the team down. Yeah, totally right. Everybody knows more than everybody else. They don't. Some fans that just don't like to. I mean, they're entitled to their opinion for sure. I don't knock that down out of them, but if we want to definitely be a soccer city and be a soccer culture, we cannot be fan of the result. We have to be fan of the club and understand that we're not Liverpool, we're not Chelsea, we're not, uh, we have not won as many cups as the LA Galaxy. I mean, let's be completely honest. And, we are from Orlando. Orlando is known for Disney. That is the fact. And we gotta portray us as a soccer culture, as a soccer city, and support from minute 1 to minute 90, all the way around, despite the result. That's gonna take time, and but at that point, I think Orlando is doing big strides. I think in that Inter Miami game, the crowd won that game. I think the crowd won that game for sure in the penalty kick shootout. So um, that's why I believe that the fans, definitely the ride or dies, will be there to support the team no matter what. So I want to again thank everybody for supporting us from minute 1. It's been an hour and 18 minutes of information. Follow us on Twitter at LPO underscore podcast. We're also on Facebook as Loud and Proud Orlando, also on YouTube as Loud and Proud Orlando. Click on the notification bell for all notifications. Check us out. And guys, vamos Orlando, right? I'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Vamos, Fernando.